Hello, this is Jessica Sy with Everreal, and I am here because I get asked a lot of questions about what games people should buy for their friends and family. And I thought it might be easiest to show you some games that I have purchased this year for some of the people that I work with. So here we go. We're going to talk about 10 games that I purchased for my team members on Team Everreal and staff as well. So here we go. We're gonna get started with some games. Game number 1 is for Sarah White. Sarah White is our bookkeeper extraordinaire, and she, last year I got her a game for her and her husband to play, a 2-player game, and they loved it. They loved it so much that they actually went out and bought some more games. And so I knew that they could handle kind of just a little bit more complexity. So this is a 2-player game called Sobek. And this is a game where you've got a grid of tiles and you're choosing tiles, and where you choose will then give your opponent kind of their starting place and where they're gonna choose their next tile. You then are gathering not only special powers, but you're also gathering goods that you get to sell. And so this is what I have chosen to give to Sarah White for Christmas. And she, all of these games I bought at Uncle's. So if you haven't been to Uncle's, there's one downtown and there's one in the valley, and they have such a great assortment of games. The next game that I got is for Shale Larson. Shale Larson is a gamer. I have played many games with him and his family. And this game is called The Mind. And The Mind is kind of a funny one to give Shale, because if you know Shale, Shale likes to talk. But this game you have to be silent in, and you are putting down cards. There's numbers from 1 to 100 in this game. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna actually play down cards, and you're trying to go from the lowest number to the highest number, but you cannot talk to the other people. So you're sitting there and you put down your card, maybe you have the number 10, and then the next, because you're not gonna give all 100 cards out, everybody might have 3 cards in their hand. And so this game has so much tension and so much fun, and you're just trying to mind meld with each other. And I thought this would be fun for him to play with his adult children. And also you can play it as a 2-player game. So if he and Heidi just want to play, they can do that. All right, the next game I got is for our newest member of our team, and that is Chrissy Martinez. And Chrissy Martinez, I know a little bit about her, not a lot, but one thing I do know is that she loves dogs. And so this game is called Dog Lover, and this is a card game where you are collecting, you're collecting bones, and you're trying to basically take care of the dog that you have, and you can get them like kind of special unique traits, and you can get with the cards you can get new tricks that they can learn, and you might rescue a dog from a shelter. But this is a great card game. If you know somebody who is more of a cat lover, there's a game that's similar to this, and it's called Cat Lady. And I did see that at Uncle's, and so you can buy that one as well. Okay, the next game I got is for Crystal Allison. And Crystal Allison has a little girl who is about 2 or 3. I apologize. I believe she just is like 2.5. And this is a great line of games. This is called Haba. Haba games, if you go to Uncle's, they have a whole shelf just of Haba games, and they're made specifically for children. This is a company that is based in Germany, and they just make wonderful games for kids. So this one is a stacking game. It's called Animal Upon Animal Junior. So you can see it's a 2+ game. And there is another game called Animal Upon Animal that's for a little bit older kids because their dexterity is a little better, but these pieces are a little bit bigger, and you get to stack these animals on top of each other. And so it's a wonderful game kind of to start kids out with dexterity and learning rules. So Animal Upon Animal Junior for Crystal Allison. Now, for Brittany Piper, last year I got her King of Tokyo, which is a really great game that you can play with families. She's got 2 older kids and 2 younger kids. And so I decided that they should have one of my favorite kind of beginner cooperative games. And this game is Forbidden Island. This is a fantastic game. It's still it's in my collection. It's one of my favorites, but you're cooperating with each other. You each have kind of special powers that you can do as you move around this board, but the board is tiles. Okay, so you're putting out all these tiles, and little by little, the island is sinking into the ocean. And so you're gonna lose tiles as you go, and you're trying to make sure you don't lose the important tiles. We're trying to get these artifacts, and then you have to fly off of the island. This is absolutely a fantastic game, and I highly recommend it. And I think that Brittany and her family will really love playing this cooperative game. The next game I got is for Sarah Jane Brown, and that is Point Salad. Last year, kind of like Sarah White, I got her and her husband a game because I know that they do a lot of things together. So I thought this would be a fun one, but this is not a 2-player only. This one actually goes up to 6 players. So if her kids are visiting or she is got friends over, she's gonna be able to play this. And it's this really fun, kind of a simple set collection game where you're having to decide, you've got a grid of cards and you're picking the cards that you want, and it's all vegetables, and it's really bright and colorful. Wonderful game. At the end of the game, you're obviously trying to get the most points based on maybe you've got a card that says if you have 3 tomatoes and 2 lettuce, then you're gonna get a bonus points or whatever. So really great game. I honestly highly recommend that one as well. All right, the next game that I got is for Julia McMahon. Julia McMahon is also my sister, for those of you who don't know that, and she loves Disneyland. Like, she's kind of a maniac about it. And her family loves Disneyland. And so I got them this beautiful game, Happiest Day Game. And this thing is gorgeous. I have not played this one yet, but the great thing about this one is that they can play, so it's 5+ ages. So in other words, maybe only a couple of her kids won't be able to play this game right away, but you can play 2 to 6 players. So she can play with her younger kids, and you're traveling around Disneyland and you're collecting beautiful cards and you're getting to visit all the places that you love. Here's kind of cool. Halfway through the game, that there's a timer that has Tinkerbell, and Tinkerbell, when she gets to the top of the castle, you take all the pieces off the board and you turn it over, and it's nighttime Disneyland. So it's a different look to the board, and then you get to play with kind of a whole new look to it. Fun game, I am sure, and I have a feeling they are gonna love it. So excited about that. The next game that I got is actually for Catherine Bradford. Catherine Bradford has 2 little kids, and I've gotten her a game for her kids before. This time I decided to get her one that really is focused on her older son. It's called Outfoxed, and this is a game that teaches kids how, kind of like a deduction. So this fox has committed a crime, and you're trying to catch him before he gets from one side of the board to the other. And in order to do that, you're getting clues, and you're basically using deduction. So it's kind of like beginner clue, if you will. So this is a wonderful game that I've given to several children over the years, and I think that she and her kids will enjoy this. All right, so the next game that I have here, I actually bought for 3 people. As you can see, I've got 3 of these boxes. This one's called Fun Facts, and I got this for Cindy McCann. I got it for Stacy Sampson and Eli West. Okay, because I know that they all 3 have people that they, kind of big groups that they get together with and play games with. So this game, Fun Facts. Again, I got all these games at Uncle's Games. This one, you put your name, everybody gets this kind of chevron plastic thing, and you put your name on it. And then they're gonna ask a question. So the question on the back here is, how many years of your life would you give up to become a billionaire instantly? Okay, so if you think you're gonna live to 100 years old, you have to give up some of those years in order to become a billionaire. So what you do is you write on yours what you would do. Like, I would give up 2 years of my life. Everyone's gonna write their stuff. Then secretly, like, you are going to put down your names and you're going to put them in the order that you think that you, so if I'm sitting there with my four other people in my family, I have to go, I think Matt would give up a lot more years of his life to become a billionaire than I would. He's sitting across the room and he's kind of laughing at me. So then you're trying to put it in order, and only if you keep it in order do you get a point. It's a great, fun family game. And we played, let's see, it goes up to 8 people. We played with 9 people and just had somebody else use a piece of paper. So you can play with more people, not just the stuff that's in here. Now, let's see. My last game is a game that I didn't get for anybody because I couldn't get it here in time, but I wanted to tell you guys about it. It's a game that I own, and it's called Green Team Wins. And Green Team Wins is a game where you are all have like a little, of course, because these ones I own, I can open it up. Everybody gets this wonderful kind of card, and you get to write on here, and you hold it, and then everybody turns it over at the same time. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to have group think. You're trying to think like everybody else. And if you do think like everybody else and you get on the majority team, then you turn to the green team. And when you're on the green team, you get a point. If you stay on the green team, you get even more points. And they're really funny questions. Like, for instance, who would make the best boss? The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, or the Cowardly Lion? And so then there's this discussion of, so my mom says that it's the Tin Man and I say it's the Scarecrow, and we start talking, and then it creates wonderful conversations around why I think the Scarecrow would be better than the Tin Man, and why she thinks the Tin Man would be better than the Scarecrow. And honestly, that is the point of games. Let me just take a moment here and talk about the fact that when you give a game to someone, you are giving them the gift of sitting across the table from people that they love to play and to have fun and to discuss and sometimes to compete and to but it is such a wonderful way to turn off the television, to turn off the cell phones, and just be with people that you love and play games. So these are 10 games that I bought this year for people that I love and care about, and I hope that you get a chance to go out there and get some games. And if you don't get some games, at least play some games. And if you do have any questions about games, feel free to contact me, because I love answering questions and helping people buy new games. Oh my gosh, you guys, I forgot one game. I said 10 games. This one was hiding somewhere, and now I see it and I have to talk about it. This game is for Dan Wilson. Now, Dan Wilson is not a huge fan of games, but he likes party games, and this is a game that he can play when he goes to breweries, which he loves to, because this is literally a bunch of these thick, wonderful coasters, and it's just this great bluffing game. Everybody's got, so you can play with, how many people can you play with? You can play with 6 players, and what you're doing is you're just bluffing, and like, I'm gonna turn over this and hope that I don't get a skull, and I'm gonna did they put a skull down or did they put down a flower? Because everybody has 3 flowers in their hand and 1 skull. And so it's this great bluffing, fun game with lots of laughter, very easy to play, probably no matter how many beers you have in you, still easy to play. So this is the 10th game. All right, thanks everybody. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you later. Bye.